All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The day has finally come as for the first time since the 1999 NFL season, the New England Patriots team owner, Robert Kraft, will be searching for a new head coach for his beloved football team. A day after Pete Carroll, whom Kraft did fire in 1999, stepped down as the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, Belichick will no longer be the head coach of the Patriots as he and Kraft have mutually agreed to part ways. It ends one of the greatest eras in Boston sports history as Belichick was 266 and 121 in the regular season as the head coach of the Patriots, which included becoming the first and only head coach in NFL history to guide his team to 6 Super Bowl titles, 9 AFC championships overall, while also going 30 and 12 in the postseason. Hands down, one of the greatest coaches to have ever done it. And I'm not going to say to have ever done it from the standpoint like I think he's finished, because I don't but truly believe that Bill Belichick is done coaching in the National Football League. But things have not been great for Belichick and the Patriots since 2020 when Tom Brady left to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, in the 4 years since Brady left town, 3 of those years have seen the Patriots finish with a losing record while only having one trip to the postseason when they were one and done, courtesy of the Buffalo Bills back in the 2021 wild card round. At the end of the day, the lack of talent has shown up for the Patriots as general manager Bill Belichick has done a huge disservice to Bill Belichick, the head coach. And at the end of the day, because of that, Robert Kraft simply wanted his team back. We're talking about a Patriots team that just lost 13 games this season for the first time since 1992, which was before 2 years before Kraft even bought the team. So the time has come for New England um, to have a new voice for these Patriots. And it's going to be interesting to see whether it's going to be Gerard Mayo, who is already on the coaching staff, Mike Vrabel, a former Patriots linebacker who was just fired by the Tennessee Titans, or someone else. So it's going to be very interesting to see who takes over the reins as the new head coach of New England. And then on top of that, will the Patriots go out there and get themselves a general manager? I say this because, Belichick, he was the de facto GM of the team for so long. We know that. But, he was able to overcome some of his bad drafting decisions when he had Brady around, but he was unable to overcome it post Brady. So there's not a real strong talent pool, if you will, on this football team right now. But you could look at it like this: the Patriots and Kraft and whomever, if they decide to go get a GM as well as their head coach, they're going to start fresh because we're talking about a New England team that is going to be picking third overall in this upcoming NFL draft. And conventional wisdom would lead you to believe that New England is going to take one of these quarterbacks available early on. So, like I said, is Kraft going to go out there and hire a general manager? As believe it or not, Mac Jones was the only first rounder that the Patriots selected since 2013 that has made a Pro Bowl. But I will say this, though, at least for that first round pick that New England has, that you go back to the last couple of times that New England picked in the top 10 of the draft, they did okay. Regardless, it was pre Robert Kraft when they selected Bledsoe. Then you have Willie McGinnis the following year, Richard Seymour, Gerard Mayo. So those names right there, they went on to be impact players for this Patriots organization. So I think New England has a good opportunity going forward to start on the right foot. with that first round pick. But at the end of the day, like I said, Robert Kraft wants his team back. And he's a guy he hates. I don't know him personally, but he gives off that vibe that he simply hates to lose more than he enjoys winning. As prior to 2020, his Patriots only had two losing seasons on his watch. And I don't see Robert Kraft being willing to rest on his laurels and simply just have his Patriots tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the most Super Bowl championships in NFL history. He wants to go out there and get number seven. And we all know it did not sit well with him to watch Tom Brady go down there 4 years ago with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and hoist that Lombardi trophy. So it's one of those. I think the Patriots definitely want to get back to restoring the Patriot way. And it starts with the talent pool. They got to go out there and try to find those guys that are going to do whatever it takes to go out there and win. And I think it might take a day or two, just being sarcastic on it, but nonetheless, they are going to find those people. And of course, it's going to start with the head coach and what they decide to do with their front office. Now, in regards to Bill Belichick, he is definitely going to coach again because only George Halas and Don Shula have won more games than him in NFL history. And I think Belichick, when it's all said and done, he wants to go out there and be the all-time winning head coach, in my opinion. I think he definitely wants to go out there and win again. And he wants to probably prove to himself and a lot of people that he can win outside of the Patriots because as great as things have been for Bill Belichick, there's still that shadow over his career because he's only had two trips to the postseason without Tom Brady, and he's only won one game in the playoffs in his career when Tom Brady was not his quarterback rather. So it's one of those where I think he definitely still has something to prove. Still is a guy who can go out there and cook up defenses with the best of them. So it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments that he makes from the offensive standpoint of his philosophy as well as his overall philosophy with his team. Maybe his message got a little stale to his team. It happens after a time, and that's no disrespect to Bill Belichick. But at the end of the day, 24 years is a very long time, and you have to commend him for what he was able to accomplish over the bulk of those years with the Patriots. So I think that the Atlanta Falcons, the Washington Commanders, and the Los Angeles Chargers are probably going to be some of the teams that you see have a full court press for Bill Belichick. I look at Arthur Blank. Arthur Blank wants to win. And I think he's going to go out there and basically give Bill Belichick a blank check to try to go out there and make it happen. The Chargers are very intriguing because they don't have, obviously, they need a head coach. They don't have a general manager right there as well. You have a lot of talent on this team, both on both sides of the football, and you got a young quarterback in Justin Herbert. And then you have the Washington Commanders. Josh Harris and company just purchased this team. They want to make a splash. They want to make an impact. Josh Harris and company did not purchase the Washington Commanders to go out there and be dormant. And again, like the Patriots, the Commanders will basically be starting fresh because this is a team they're picking second in the upcoming NFL draft, and they need a quarterback as well. They have some talent on that team, but could Belichick possibly find himself in the nation's capital? I'll tell you like this. I think Atlanta, well, regardless, whether it's going to be the Chargers, whether it's going to be the Falcons, the Commanders, or somebody else, they are going to offer Bill Belichick a boatload of money to come in there and be their head coach. But in the case of Atlanta, you've got yourself somebody running that front office in Rich McKay. I do believe a guy of Bill Belichick's cachet, he's going to want to have some say, maybe not full say at this point, but he's definitely going to want to have some say in personnel decisions. So I'm not sure how intriguing that Atlanta could be for him. Washington, I could see them giving him some say in front office personnel, not full say. Uh, the Chargers, I think it's up for grabs. I think Belichick could walk into that situation just like he was in New England, and be head coach and general manager. That all of that remains to be seen. That we also could see another team pop up and be intrigued by Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick could be intrigued by another team as well. We've got to wait and see. But I don't see a scenario. I could be wrong, but I really don't see it where he sits out the 2024 season. I think he wants to strike while the iron is hot. He still has that itch to coach, and there's some guys that are just born to wear a whistle, and I definitely believe that Belichick falls into that category. Will he adapt to change? We have to wait and see. I'll tell you like this: you don't survive in any industry as long as a guy like Bill Belichick has if you don't find a way to adapt. I mean, he's been around the National Football League since the 1970s when he started with the Baltimore Colts. So when it's all said and done, he's got to try to find a way to adapt to these younger players. But at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever, and it was a hell of a ride for the folks in the Boston area who love their Patriots and what they've seen over the last 20 plus years. I mean, you think about it, what the Patriots have done, really doesn't come down the pike that often. And it's not going to be replicated for quite some time. I know that some people uh, want to call the Kansas City Chiefs the heir apparent to the New England Patriots in the National Football League right now. No disrespect to the Chiefs. It's still easier said than done. They are consistent. They have been one of the most consistent teams in the National Football League in recent years. And of course, since 2019, nobody has won more Super Bowl championships than the two that the Kansas City Chiefs have. But we're talking about basically 2 decades of success, and that's easier said than done. Let's see if the Chiefs can find a way to catch the Patriots in that. But like I said, it's easier said than done. But it was one hell of a ride. For the New England Patriots, though, I think they're going to get back to basics. Like I said, not to sound like a broken record, I really want to see if the Patriots are going to go out there and hire themselves a general manager. I think Robert Kraft is a guy, and obviously, like I said, I don't know him personally, that, he likes to hire his guys, his people, people that that he's comfortable with. Then on top of that, people that understand the organization and what it takes to win there. That's why you put a guy like Mike Vrabel. That's why you put a guy like Gerard Mayo at the top of that list. And honestly, I do think Gerard Mayo is probably the odds-on favorite to be the next head coach of the New England Patriots. If that were to be the case, would he retain anybody on the current staff? Possibly. I don't see a lot of people being retained from the offensive side of the football because if you look at the Patriots over the last 4 years, the only year that they did make the playoffs and finish with a winning record, they were about the middle of the pack as far as yards per game go in the NFL. The rest of the time, they were near the bottom. So I think you really need to start over, especially if you're more than likely going to draft one of these young quarterbacks early. You need somebody who's going to help develop and cultivate him. And we saw how Belichick basically ruined Mac Jones once Josh McDaniels left town. So it's going to be very interesting to see what coaches are brought in, regardless if it's Gerard Mayo, Mike Vrabel, somebody else leading the way for this new Patriots team in 2024. We've got to wait and see. But when it's all said and done, I think the Patriots have themselves an opportunity for a somewhat quick turnaround if they take care of their business in this NFL draft and free agency. New England could be once again formidable in a couple of years. For Belichick, he's going to land on his feet wherever he goes. We all know that the expectations are going to be through the roof. Uh, for Belichick wherever he goes. He's going to sell a lot of tickets, wherever he goes. The networks are going to clamor to have that respective team on the big games as much as possible. But at the end of the day, I really do think Belichick wants to win, and it comes down to fit with him as well, just like it does anything else. But at the end of the day, we knew that this day was coming. especially after the results that the New England Patriots had on the football field this season. Their offense, it was a big time struggle, especially at the quarterback position. And if you don't have that guy at the quarterback position, like I've said before, in this current National Football League, you really can't win. The days of the game managers are over. You need somebody who's going to be able to elevate his play and that play of those around him. The Patriots didn't have that. They were doomed by bad personnel decisions by Bill Belichick for the last couple of years. And at the end of the day, it was just time. It's happened to so many great coaches before Bill Belichick. It's going to happen to great coaches after Bill Belichick. At the end of the day, nothing lasts forever. It was time for a football divorce between Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. Each man showed a lot of class today. I think they left on a high note. I think there was a lot of love and respect and admiration between each one of them. Of course, their egos, have allowed certain things to, get to for things to get to this point. But nonetheless, I think there is a respect. I think they will continue to respect each other going forward. But at the end of the day, Robert Kraft wants to go in a different direction with his team. He has that right. And I think Bill Belichick will land on his feet. When and where, we simply just have to wait and see. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.